Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Azine Williams. How are you all doing? Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are fine. If you're new to this channel, kindly click on the subscription button. Click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Okay guys, so I'm sure by now most of you all have seen the interview that Tega granted Chude. Yeah, she had an interview with Chude, and one thing I know about Chude is he's that one person, that one journalist or presenter that ends up interviewing I like to say people that normally are misunderstood, people that the society will normally be like, oh, crucify him, crucify him. Yes, Trudy always gets it and gets talking with them to understand their own story, their own perspective, and giving you another side of their story. I don't know if that makes sense, but that is true. I mean, he's interviewed Erica, he did that with Tacha, he did that with Bobrisky, and now he's interviewing Tega. Yes, guys. So I saw the interview, and basically, Tega most of the time talks about her marriage, her husband. She says things like how her husband, from the first week when that truth and dare thing, that saga was seen, or was there to suck her, yeah, her chest area, her boobs, and how her husband, was almost granted interviews with the likes of Punch newspaper, Guardian, and all that. How he was not, they had a plan, basically, that he was not supposed to be entertaining all these people. Rather, he's supposed to be like in the background and direct all that buzz to their business page because he has a growing business. She also talks about how her husband cheated on her, in their matrimonial bed while her sister, her son, and even his own relatives were in the house. How she got to find out about it. She was in school at that time, and it was like a trans like situation, and she kind of like had a vision. She called her sister denied it. It now took some boys, in her area because she was very cordial with them that actually told her, after her investigations that her husband was cheating, that she already knew that this guy was cheating even before he started bringing girls to the house. Like, she didn't have an issue, not like she didn't have an issue, like she knew that he was cheating, but the fact that he actually brought those girls or the girl in question to her matrimonial home was like the height of disrespect. She talked about losing her dad on the 1st of January this year, which is so sad, the conditions that led up to her dad's death and everything. She also talked about coming into the Big Brother Niger house, how she informed her husband that that I'm crazy. According to her, that's what she told her husband. You know that I'm crazy and I'm going to the house. I'll do everything, to get buzz. But one thing I wouldn't do is to sleep with someone. You get what I mean? That her husband knows about this and she's disappointed. How her husband even went to voting centers to try to stop them from voting for her so that she will be out or kicked out of the house. Basically, her husband sabotaging her. Yes, how her husband was making appearances, making some utterances, saying stuff like, oh, he's going to sue Boma, he's going to sue Tega and all whatnot. Yes, guys. And she also, talked about the tissue incident with Boma, saying that she was sleeping at that time and she didn't know why Boma, was with that tissue, and she didn't even know what was happening. That it was when she was now watching clips, when she was outside the house, that was when she found out about the tissue incident. So, and at the end of the day, she ended up by pleading with Nigerians, that she is our own and we should not disown her, we should forgive and forget. So, these are like the summary of her interview with Trudy. Yes, and she also maintained there was no sex involved. It was just cuddling and everything. And because they purposely did it, like she always says, it's a script, and that because she felt, or some of the times when the housemates are shipping her and they are doing all those cuddly things, to make the housemates talk, and the camera will shift on them and they'll have to just continue to give people a show. She also talked about the fact that one of the mistakes she probably made was to come into the house as a married woman because her marriage was already in shambles as at then. And she also talked about, she and her husband trying to see if they work things out. Her husband is currently in Calabar while she is in Lagos. So yes, guys, that's it what she said. Now, what do I think? First of all, I believe everybody deserves a second chance, even a third chance or a fourth chance, depending on how much patience and mercy you have at your, at your, I don't know how much, mercy you have. And I feel she deserves a second chance. I feel we've overflogged this issue. I feel we should give her a breathing space. I feel we should forgive. And one thing also we should realize is Big Brother Nigeria is a game show. I mean, you guys maybe understand that, right? Even when I try to like judge them or try to criticize too much, you guys always come up with, oh, isn't it? It's a game show. Even though I see it as a version of reality, even though it's a more heightened reality because you are locked up in the house with three people for like 3 months. So of course, it's not like an accurate representation of reality. It's more like a heightened version because some of the things they do in that house, trust me, if it was in the real life, they can easily walk away from that, or take a stroll or go away from that situation. But because that place is a place that they've been locked up, they can't really do that. So that's why it's a heightened kind of reality. I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyways, guys, you guys should also realize that, and also realize that these people are humans and they are bound to make mistakes. And like I said before in one of my videos, if a camera is put in your own life 24 hours a day, trust me, we are going to be seeing a whole lot of skeletons that were hidden in your darkest cupboard. So yeah, but that being said, I had an issue with her interview too. Not with the interview actually, but with her answers. It almost seems as if she was deflecting. It almost seems as if she was blaming every other person, her husband more especially, than herself. Like, whatever actions that people are judging her with right now is the action she did. It was her actions. It wasn't her husband. Of course, her husband has his own fair share of the blame, but trust me, a lot of people are concerned about her actions more than that of her husband. Of course, I agree that her husband was cloud chasing too much. I've said it here, like granting that interview with Tunde and all whatnot, coming out to write that episode that he wrote. It was unnecessary and he was cloud chasing. But in this interview, I expected her to more own it up with her full chest. I made a mistake, guys. I made a mistake. Don't try to deflect, because almost every time she was trying to lay the blame on the man. Now, imagine how this will snowball if this man comes out and grants another interview. It's just going to be a kind of worms. It's going to be a mess. And looking at that man, I don't know him personally, but from what I've seen him do, he also can be that kind of a person. I mean, offer him the right amount of money for an interview, he might actually come out to do that interview. That's my own honest opinion. So I think she would have just, stick to the matter in hand, beg for Nigeria's forgiveness. Look at the likes of Erica. When Erica had her own interview, she didn't try to deflect anything. She never blamed any other person. She blamed herself. Sacha did the same thing. She owned her truth. That's all I was expecting her to do, even though at the end of the interview, she actually did it. But I felt she deflected a whole lot. Maybe it's just me, but that is how I felt. It was almost all about her husband did this. Her husband did this. It's because of her husband. Her husband. I get it. The man did not act right. But then again, her action also contributed to how people see her. But, that's what I think. That's my observation about that interview. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. But that being said, also, I also want to repeat, let the trolling stop. Trolling has never ever been good. I have never been a fan of people trolling people, and I will never subscribe to people trolling people, no matter how bad you perceive them to be. So let's just trade with caution. Sometimes put yourself in another person's shoes. Ask yourself, if I'm in this kind of situation, would I even want people to say this thing I'm saying to this person? I'm saying this especially to BB Niger fans. It seems as if you guys, the housemates move on, but you guys don't. You carry matter for your head as if you're hawking tomatoes on the street of Ojueleba. I do not understand why. When you are not being paid, neither are you receiving salary or pension from it. So please, guys, let's be more kind to each other. Yesterday was Mental Health Awareness Day, and do better. That's all I have to say. Do better. So guys, that's what I think about that interview. Thank you guys so very much for being part of my channel. If you've not already subscribed, kindly click on the subscription button, click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Until I come your way again, I remain your darling girl, Azine Williams. Have yourself a beautiful day ahead. Bye, guys.